Now we'll hear from Kayla Harris, a veteran of the Illinois Army National Guard and also a member of About Face Veterans Against the War. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist and PhD candidate in Chicago. Take it away, Kayla.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to see so many faces. My name is Kayla Harris, as Stephanie said. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a veteran of the Illinois Army National Guard, where I served 8 years between Southern Illinois and the Urbana region. I was first in my family, in my generation of my family, to enlist since my grandfather was drafted and served in Vietnam. He was in the Army. His name was Sergeant Joseph Allen James. And that's important because I also made sergeant, right? I was carrying on my family's tradition, or so I thought. I was quickly disillusioned to that, though, about a couple of years in, just as many of my peers up here have said. But anyway, I digress. Back to Joseph James, my grandfather. He died a few years ago. I wish he could be here physically, but I feel like he's here in spirit. And he died a few years ago due to complications from Agent Orange exposure in Vietnam. And I feel like that's important to remember as we're sitting here with this list of names of people who died in Vietnam. I feel like that's particularly important to note. And when I think about his service, he was always pretty solemn about it, right? Because there's a lot of messed up stuff they had to do. And I sort of took on that sense of solemn and solace and not really talking about it. And I never really heard him talk about his service, right? And I think that's where I learned to do that on days like today, like Memorial Day. And what I'm here to do right now is to please urge people to please hold multiple things at once, okay? I think as a veteran myself, I can hold multiple truths, and I'm asking you all to join me. I'm here to encourage you all to please acknowledge, sure, that we have lost many, many people to war. Whether we are talking service members, we should also be talking about the countless civilians here and overseas that have died because of the wars, okay? We also acknowledge that today we get a 3-day weekend, some of us, in honor of those sacrifices, and I just wanted to name that too. So we can hold the solemnity, we can hold the gravity of these losses, but I'm urging you to also hold the responsibility that we owe to those people, their families, their legacies. And so sure, you can have your barbecues and enjoy that, but please hold multiple things at once this weekend, okay? And moving forward, but I'll get to that. I ask you all to please add anger and resistance to the mix. For the love. Please add anger and resistance. We're out here in anger and resistance, and guess what? We're also going to find joy later. We're going to enjoy this beautiful weather, but the important part is that we're holding all of these, because it is so important that we resist adding more names to these types of lists. More names of the dead. We don't need that. We don't need that. And in actuality, as we were just talking about with the VA cuts, even if they come back alive, we are still hurt. Because the VA is getting cuts, and that's the one place that we can get care, specialized care for people who are dedicating their lives to serve us. And a lot of times, I want to say this too, a lot of times service members and veterans hold complicated feelings about their service. You've already heard a couple of tales today. You're hearing me speak right now. It can be really incredibly painful and uncomfortable. And what I'm asking you to do is very uncomfortable. But I want you to try your best to, again, hold multiple things to be true at once. So, in doing so, and in light of, I don't want more dead people to be added to some list for profit for the upper class that is never going to see a battlefield. I'm protesting the war today, and I will continue to do so tomorrow, and I'm going to continue to do so with these folks and our community partners that came out here to support us, that we also support. And we are a part of a long lineage of war resistors, specifically anti-war veterans and service members. This is not new. We've been coming out here for how many years? 50 years. People have been gathering here on Memorial Day to protest the war. The military-industrial complex is still the same. So we will continue to show up until there is no war. We will continue to fight for our VA healthcare rights, as it is the only system built to care for us, until we have less service members harmed in war. So please, 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 don't just silently repost on social media in honor of some ancestor you have. Look at the people who are here today and listen to us and what we are telling you. Join us. Join us in the streets. Join us in preventing the involvement in the first place. And whenever the inclination comes to thank us for our service, join us in the streets instead.